Over the last few years, my eyesight has been getting slowly worse, but I've been trying to stave off getting glasses or contacts for as long as possible. It could just be that I'm in denial, and that's true about a lot more than just my eyesight. The realization started with my yearly medical exam, or Kenko Shindan. Each year in Japan, they poke and prod you, extract your blood, check your eyesight, and the rating assigned to my eyes was getting slowly worse each year. My parents both have glasses, so I'm actually surprised it took me so long to need them. I've been doing everything bad for your eyes, from playing video games on end to reading books in the dark, so I knew it was inevitable. But as my vision gets blurry, it's been hard when I drive or watching presentations from a distance at work. Anyway, a few months ago I did go to the optometrist and I got my eyes checked. So basically what they told me was it's not critical yet, but I should consider getting glasses for like driving or, whatever occasion that I might need them. And after that I did go straight to a glasses maker and got a pair. So I went to Jeans, which is this brand. It's a really affordable Japanese glasses brand, and I just wanted a cheap pair just in case anything happened, so I didn't really think too much about the glasses I bought, but I also wasn't too excited about them either, so I thought it was time to maybe get something a little bit nicer, and I'd been looking around, and very coincidentally, my friend who works at a glasses retailer invited me to a sample sale, so I thought it was time to invest in something a little bit nicer. Okay, so I picked up these two glasses. One is actually a pair of sunglasses. The frames are so cute and so light, and I don't actually have really like a pair of this kind of thin style of sunglasses. I always buy really big oversized ones, so this was something I had wanted for quite some time. It was a little bit inspired by the sunglasses that they wear in The Crown, Diana wears in The Crown, so that was kind of why I bought it. And then the second pair is actually the real reason that I wanted to buy glasses. So these frames, and it's really light, yet the frame is nice and thick. It really frames my face nicely, and I wanted something that was a little bit of a lighter tone, so I didn't go for the black frames. I went for a tortoiseshell style because I've learned that my personal color is apparently a spring, and so I don't want to wear something that's too dark because it doesn't look good for my complexion, so I went with something a little bit lighter, and yeah. But yeah, basically I can use these also on days that I don't feel like doing makeup, so lots of ways to use them. Very excited. Very demure. Oh my gosh, that wasn't even funny. Very sorry. Yeah, so that's my glasses haul. Woo. So I should backtrack and mention that after the sample sale, my friends and I caught up over dinner. As I get older and everyone gets busier, it becomes harder and harder to sustain and nurture relationships, so it's really nice to catch up. Nothing is quite like a girls' night out over good food and wine. Actually, hanging out with my girlfriends reminded me about how different relationships are in Japan versus Western countries, and it kind of gives you a new perspective from a different lens, if you will, pun intended. In fact, a lot of the things I thought I wouldn't like or didn't like actually in the past about Japanese friendships are what I enjoy the most about them now. For example, in Japan, people are very reserved, so it's really hard to get to know each other and form a deep trust. It takes a long time to warm up, and a lot of years and You have to really bond a lot over kind of rough times, I feel like. So because of that and how much investment is required in creating friendships in Japan, I feel like it's allowed me to be a lot more intentional and selective about my relationships because they take so much longer to nurture, which is actually something I appreciate now because I have very intentional, selective relationships. Another really interesting thing I have come to appreciate is actually Japanese people are a lot more reserved, but they're also very considerate and mindful. So it's really helped me be more considerate and mindful of others. And it can be something as simple as they really think before they speak. I mean, obviously, I don't want to generalize too much, but a lot of my friends, I feel like they think a lot before they speak and really consider how their words affect others and just really make sure they're saying things very intentionally. I feel like in other friendship dynamics, people can usually just, say whatever pops up into their head, and it can frustrate people at some points. I mean, it can sometimes frustrate each other sometimes. So I think having that, consideration is something that I personally never really had, and it's something that I feel like I've learned a lot through my Japanese friends. Also, even just something as simple as making sure everyone is served before you start eating or filling up people's glasses when they're empty. There's a really strong sense of community and love in a way that I don't really see in other dynamics. Obviously, usually in other non-Japanese dynamics, there is that one person who does that all the time or is very, mindful of others and make sure that everyone is, happy and fed and full, whatever. But I think because there's a lot more of a do-it-yourself expectation, you just kind of serve yourself. Sometimes being in that environment where everyone is a little bit more aware of everyone else and making sure that everyone else feels good and comfortable is something that I have come to appreciate. Although in the beginning was very frustrating sometimes, why don't we just handle things ourselves? But it's something that I've come to prefer. One last thing I kind of want to touch on is in Japanese relationships, you really have to schedule everything in advance, which kind of drives me crazy, to be honest, or at least it used to. But interestingly enough, I've kind of realized that I'm an introvert. And I mean, not realizing that I'm an introvert, but finding that as an introvert, this kind of scheduling in advance means I can prioritize my own time and friend time. And it also means that when I do schedule my friend time, I can really bring my best when I go out. Usually in more Western countries, for better or worse, the relationships are a lot, I would say, closer. But for example, usually maybe you would hang out with the same friend group every Friday and you wouldn't even have to make plans because you just knew you're going to hang out with that group on that Friday, and you'd probably stay over, have drinks, blah blah blah. But I feel like as that goes on, you kind of stop bringing your best self and you kind of maybe take advantage of each other sometimes. At least that's something I do. I kind of would rely a little bit too much on my friends or just kind of become a little bit too comfortable. I think it's important to have a good balance, especially as you get older and life gets in the way. Having scheduled friendships, obviously, I know that my friends, my Japanese friends, in a pinch, if something happened, they would be there for me, but at the same time, also, kind of pacing ourselves and meeting up once in a while also is nice. And not that much happens, day to day, so having that kind of space between the next time you meet allows you to, build up a little bit more of what's going on in your life and what you need to talk about. It's kind of just something that I've come to realize. But anyway, through the years, I've really had a lot of ups and downs living in Tokyo, especially when it comes to friends. And I felt quite lonely many times in this very busy city. But all in all, I have met a lot of amazing people and a lot of great friends that I can't imagine living without right now. I think my sweet spot is just having friends from all walks of life. Some Japanese, non-Japanese, Japanese but grew up in other areas. Yeah, everyone just kind of meets all my needs, and I'm very lucky that actually living in Tokyo you can meet people from all walks of life. So as long as you put yourself out there, generally speaking, you'll find someone you can click with. And personally, I've found reaching out to work colleagues or even old work colleagues or using apps like Bumble BFF. I've met some amazing people on Bumble BFF. I've also been ghosted a lot by ladies as well. So it is what it is, right? Yeah, overall, I feel like Tokyo is a really great place to meet a lot of really cool people, and through, work and apps and whatnot, I've actually met a lot of great people who have turned into really amazing lifelong relationships. Yeah, anyway, that's basically my rant on friendships in Tokyo. But I don't know, was it helpful? Let me know in the comments. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions about tips on making friends in Tokyo, or if you have any tips of your own, always welcome as well. I hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next one.